Hello out there in the YouTuberverse. You got Max, yeah. You got him, yeah. We got Guilds of Ravnica. We're going to draft. Let's give it a shot. So this draft format has evaded me pretty heavily. I don't remember being this far out of the loop since Dominaria, maybe, when it was so different than the past several blocks. This one's just, I just don't know. Like, here's my opinion on this pick. There's Temple Garden, which is like kind of just a gate. I just want it for my collection, to be honest with you. These uncommons are all kind of medium. Capture Sphere is quite good. Burglar Rat is fine. Dissident is okay. Siege Worm's fine. Probably one of the best cards next to Artful Takedown. I think Takedown's straight up the best card in the pack. Maybe if you wanted to argue for staying monocolor, I could see Capture Sphere, then maybe the Siege Worm. I'm going to snag the Temple Garden because I'm greedy, and I need that for my collection, and there's nothing in here that's really pushing me in a particular direction. This pack's got a Price of Fame and a Deadweight in it, which is insane. So I'm going to snag the Price of Fame because that's just a fantastic piece of removal. It puts us in black, which means we could go into the world of the dreaded Golgari. I'd like to maybe try to see if I could get Golgari to work, so I'm not against it. And in this pack, we might actually get a payoff here because we don't want any of these white spells because they don't really pair too well with the Price of Fame. Forces us pretty hard into Obzon. But we do have a Burglar Rat, which I will take because that is pretty good in either Dimir or Golgari. I think the Golgari deck really wants a lot of aristocrat-y type spells, which oddly enough is demonstrated by the Severed Strands, which I think is great. There's the Gorgon, but I think the Strands is actually more important in Golgari, and it also keeps us oddly enough out of necessarily being straight Golgari. There's Rhizome Lurcher. So this is the pick, basically. I can go Notion Rain or Sinister Sabotage to stay in Dimir, or I could force Golgari to try to see if the deck is playable. And I think we've seen enough of the elements with Burglar Rat and Severed Strands. I'm going to try to force this a little bit with the Rhizome Lurcher. We have a Wall, which is a little bit better in Selesnya. We have Crushing Canopy, which is good for the sideboard, but we're not playing that way. I think Locket is a pretty good pickup here because these games will go long and we do need some source of card advantage. I would not like another one. Oh my gosh, this Lightveil Sprite, what are you doing in this pack, buddy? Holy cow. That being said, I think the pick for us is going to be the Dissident. Solid 2-drop. Pretty reasonable. There's a Barrier of Bones in here, which I don't think you should underestimate the Defender package you can get in Golgari. You can get Barrier of Bones, you can get the Portcullis Vine, which is the most important, and then we saw the Sundew. I think they're very good, and I think good enough with the Surveil and the Bones that I'm going to take it here. You need a way to get into your late game. I think Okapi's very good in the Golgari deck because it wants to attack and it wants you to block and trade off creatures so you can get your Rhizome Lurchers big. But I'm going to take a Burglar Rat here and just stay on kind of trying to deny our opponent cards. Wand of Vertebrae, unfortunately, not very good, and there's nothing else in this pack really for us at all. I'll just grab this uncommon for my collection since I'm being greedy today. We have another Barrier of Bones, so I'll take that. I don't know if I'll play two. With another Burglar Rat, I'm not a big Golgari Raiders fan. The 0/0 means that there are times where you're playing a 1/1 or a 2/2 haste for 4, which is just not good enough. I'm going to take the Burglar Rat. I don't think we need any more. How is there a Sinister Sabotage? I'm going to take this for my collection because, again, greedy. Crushing Canopy. Maybe one gets tossed on the main if we're really digging. Okay. So we made it through that pack. Kind of tough. We have another Rhizome Lurcher here, and that's kind of it for us. Pilferingham's fine, but not great. We could dive into blue. I'm not really looking to do that here. I'd rather try to stick with two colors. Rhizome Lurcher's strong enough that I think it's a reasonable choice to not go into blue. Trying really hard to push us into blue with things like Disinformation Campaign. We have two Barrier Bones already that Surveil and Price of Fame, so we could definitely go into something like splashing a Disinformation Campaign for a little bit of card advantage. Other than that, we would be either taking a Veiled Shade or a Mephitic Vapors, which are not very good. The Mephitic Vapors is fine, but it kind of eats our own Burglar Rat, so I'll grab Disinformation. Maybe we splash it, maybe we don't. There's a risk factor here. Not really what we need, but I, could use some. Lava Coil's great. I don't know if I have 4 in my collection. That's, again, me being greedy. I could just grab the Guildgate here, which is likely the best choice for where we're going, so I can get that free splash on. Next pick here, we have a Sprouting Renewal, which is okay. It's not anything great. It doesn't power up your Undergrowth, so it really kind of loses it for me in the Golgari deck. So I think Spinal Centipede is going to be our pickup here. I would like to see more of the Severed Strands, because I'd like to see Severed Strands and Generous Strays are basically what I'm looking for here. This is just all over my standard deck. I already built this deck. Yeah, there's just really not much here for us. We're kind of getting punished pretty hard by the cards here. Moodmark Painter, not really where you want to be. Like, it's an okay card, but I'm going to throw it in the board. But, man, we're really getting beat down pretty hard for our pick here. Another Dissident's totally fine. We want cards that actively engage in combat and trade. That's where we want to be. I'm going to grab the Sprouting Renewal. There's just nothing else. I don't think we want 2 Lockets. I like the Shade more than the Raiders. Because, again, I don't think the Raiders are a very good payoff for going Undergrowth. Never happened, not really good in a format where you can't board. That being said, neither really is Crushing Canopy. Thought Erasure Wield, so I guess we'll see if we want to play that. I'm not convinced on that one. So Parhelion Patrol very, very late. This is kind of all just jank. Ledev Champion pretty late. I like Ledev Champion. Don't so much like Garrison Sergeant, but I like Ledev Champion. And a last pick Call the Culprit. Wow. Let's drop out Thought Erasure. I don't know if that's enough. Now, House Guildmage, on the other hand, is kind of a reason to be splashing. Undercity Uprising, not nearly as good as Rhizome Lurcher. March of the Multitudes is absurd. I just don't know if we can get, like, we'd have to drop our Disinformation campaign, Dimir Guildgate, and try really hard to force a way to get double white sources out, which seems really bad for me. To me, when I can just grab this House Guildmage and play House plus Disinformation as a splash. And, oh my gosh, the punish. Necrotic Wound's not a bad pickup for us, though. What we really need is some stuff that's trying to... Okay, Deadweight's pretty awesome pickup. We need some more stuff that trades. And I'd love to grab one more Severed Strands. That's kind of the highest upside pick for me. Man. Holy crap. This all had to come in one pack. Lurcher plus Stray plus Guide. I think we have to go Stray here. We just need ways to sort out our cards and get things. Man, it feels bad. And then there's a pack with basically nothing in it. Yeesh. Like you can see, we're at 21. We have 1 Guildgate, so we're really at 20 cards. We're just struggling to find pickups. Ceratok is decent. It does some work because of its smaller butt. Okay, Glowspore Shaman's pretty sick this late. That was a lucky pickup for us. There's a late Notion Rain in here. I don't know if we can quite splash 3 cards. But Notion Rain's pretty darn good. The question, basically, when you're splashing cards, I think House Guildmage has to come out, is how good are they on turn, like, 12? Because they're your splash color. You're going to play 1 to 2 sources, so you may have to wait for them or a source to come up. Notion Raid quite good in those late turns. I think it's going to be better than a 4th Burglar Rat would be. If this was a Severed Strand, I mean, if we had 2 Severed Strands, I'd consider it, but without that, we have a little baby splash for blue. But, man, we're just... Silent Dart, I don't think it's playable. Yeah, I think we kind of came a little short, it feels like to me. I don't think we quite got enough pieces of the puzzle to make this deck work. And this is why Golgari is so difficult to draft. Like, it's just really a tough guild to be able to do because you need so many things to break your way. And just even still, like, I don't feel like, we were getting... Like, I feel like there was a little bit of white that we saw that was... going around, but I don't think we got like cut real hard. It didn't feel like or anything. It's just the Golgari decks in this format really require a pretty strong commitment. Man. So they can cut what? 1 card. Jeez. Maybe it's just the Disinformation. We have 1, 2. 1, 2. 3, 4 cards that surveil. Yeah, I think that can go. And just 2 splashes for the Notion Rain probably seems okay. I don't think this deck's going to do very well, but my assessment of decks in this format has been basically atrocious. So, we'll see. I would give this deck a C. Because I just... one more Generous Drain, one more Severed Drains, probably kick it up to a C+, B-. I just don't think we saw enough pieces to make it work. I feel like this is sadly a keep. We're on the play, or we're on the draw, excuse me, so I have a chance to draw black for our Glowspore. Glowspore's pretty good in this deck almost any turn. So we're just kind of looking for land. We have multiple 2-drops to do. You know, it is what it is. We're playing against Tommy. You know how it is. You and Tommy. And we got our first turn Black Source. So we can throw back on Glowspore if we want. We shall see. House Guild Mage. Quite a good one. I don't think we need to put a land on top. We can cast every spell in our hand. Again, I have no problem trading the House Guild. Like, Golgari, I think the trick is you want to be attacking. Like, I have no problem trading this Glowspore for this House Guild Mage. Like, I'll attack, and if they want to keep it locked down with the House Guild Mage, I'm fine with that. Like, I'll throw this Glowspore Shaman at pretty much any creature they put down outside of, like, a Burglar Rat. Like, anything that low. And put a Night Veil Sprite. Like, anything they throw down, I will throw this Glowspore and Shaman right at their creatures. Just, have at thee. But that's pretty much... Burglar Rat would be one of the only things that would slow me down from an attack. Because that's just too weak. If they attack with House Guild Mage, I will 100% block. I mean, if this eats a trick, it eats a trick. Okay, Dazzling Lights is fine. It's a long way to go for Surveil too, but that's fine. I think we're just going to kill off this Guild Mage before they can get any advantage out of it. And we'll play a Dissident. Because I don't want that Guild Mage to set them very far. Now we know their next 2 cards are decent. Because they kept them on top. So they're either looking for land and found them, or they're 2 spells that are pretty decent. But I don't want that Guild Mage to start taking over the game. Gotta be careful with this disinformation campaign, but the Ceratok does kind of command something out of our opponent. And it seems odd they haven't made their land drop, right? We just made our 4th. So they went first, though. So yeah, they did miss a land drop, so... Okay, there's a Guild Gate. Spinal Centipede. We'll just give that a little bit of dead weight. And we'll play another Dissident. This just kind of forces some action out of our opponent. They need to cobble something together that can stop this stuff. We have to be the aggressor. I feel like Golgari is a little bit more aggressive than people tend to play it. Pass Wall does basically nothing. And a Thought Erasure will get our Severed Strands. Is totally fine. They get to bounce their Disinformation, but at this point we're just playing off the top of our deck, which often happens when you're playing against Dimir. Pretty snap attack here, because if they block a Dissident, we'll just pump it. It just demands that they find a blocker every single turn. I mean, they don't have many turns to do it. Like, they have to find something, like, right now. Like, Ritual of Soot would take down both the Dissidents. Deadly Visit would take out the Ceratok. Ceratok, if they take out the Ceratok, it's straight up lethal. Okay, they lose the game here. 1 dead weight won't do it. Okay, got there. Okay, just a little bit of stumble out of our opponent with land, and we were able to pick up on it. Not a bad deal. And they get to tell their friends they got beat by Golgari. Ho ho. We're skilled, right? And I do hold the opinion that it's definitely right now the weakest guild, but I also think that it has a lot of depth that people aren't exploring. And again, you saw my strategy here is to go very aristocracy with the deck. I want a lot of big power. I don't care about toughness. I'll throw things away as long as they're trading in a semi-reasonable fashion. I just want creatures in my yard. I want to pump up my necrotic wounds. I just want to be able to try to just tear into my opponent. Any advantage I can get 1 or 2 creatures coming in as consistently as possible to try to get around their forces is exactly what I want. So that's kind of how I would play, especially Dimir, because they're always so light on creatures. Same with Izzet. They tend to be very light on creatures. I'll run as hard as I can at them. It's 1, 2, 1s and 2s. Hard to complain. Barrier will help us surveil on the first turn. I don't think we need to worry too much about the guild gate because we have our splash color, both sources for our splash color, so we don't really have to worry about the guild gate. Guild gate looks like it'll be played right now on turn 3. Looks to me like we just go on curve with our creatures. We'll see what they're on. If they're on Dimir, I would consider maybe if they're on Selesnya, we probably don't want to run the rat out quite as quickly. Yeah, Severed Strands will definitely be a keep. Basically, anything that's not a land is a keep at this point, because we just want to maximize our spell count. We're against Boros, so that Barrier of Bones will do quite nicely. We'll play out the Dissident here. I have no problem with that. Banneret, quite a good run drop out of the Boros deck. What are you up to, opponent? Not attacking. Wojek Bodyguard. They keep hovering over their Banneret. Now I'm confused, because I don't quite understand what they're doing. Wow. No follow-up? What? Okay. I'm going to play Burglar Rat. Because Burglar Rat matches up quite nicely against Goblin Banneret. Maybe they're just, like, trying to stave off my Dissident attack? I won't probably trade Dissident. Maybe. I kind of don't care. If it gets a combat trick out of their hand, it gets a combat trick out of their hand. It's kind of fine. Maybe it's just damage to an attacker or something. Not 100% sure what they're up to. Righteous Blow. Totally fine. And we'll play a Guild Gate. And we still have something that matches up quite nicely against their Banneret. Basically, we're just trying to fade a flyer at this point. It's kind of the only thing we don't want to see out of them. Is a flying threat. Or something like a Wojek Bodyguard would also be kind of bad. Healer's Hawk is kind of a flying threat. Especially with Banneret. We'll see what they do here, though. Chances are they won't swing the Banneret now. Is my guess. Risk factor. Well, we're taking 4. So definitely not going to give our opponent a chance to Burglar Rat. Pretty nice one. Got a Hammer Dropper out of their hand. Feels great. And we'll take care of the Healer's Hawk as well. And we'll hold back our Burglar Rat for blocks. So now we've kind of gone on to the control of the game. We're not necessarily the beatdown here. But I want to get that Healer's Hawk off the table because of the Mentor with the Banneret. Feels pretty bad. also feels pretty bad is the glut of lands we have. I don't know if the throwaway Banneret here to mentor one time on a soldier token, but it's possible. I mean, it feels especially good if they have a Take Heart or a Righteous Blow in their hand. I mean, I'll definitely block. I mean, right now I'm getting dealt 1 damage and they're gaining life. I'm not too worried about that. This game isn't really going to come down to nickel and diming damage. It's going to come down to overwhelming the board. So Necrotic Wound right now with 3 creatures in my yard. Pretty good. If they get greedy and try to pump the 2/2 soldier, that would be fantastic. That has to die. Unfortunately, that is a must-kill threat. That card is extremely good. I'm going to deadweight the soldier. Just clear the board up. I'm going to hold this land because I kind of don't care. I'd rather them think I have something. I drew pretty well there. A couple good removal spells. Okay, don't have to worry about damage anymore. We'll block. If they have a Take Heart, that's fine. Spinal Centipede, pretty good. Gives us something to block with. You can put a counter on the Barrier Bones, which is not negligible. Play Rhizome Lurcher. It's kind of our big payoff here. We'll see if they have any way to deal with it. 5/5's just big enough it's within damage range. The Command the Storm, the rare that deals 5 damage to an attacking or blocking creature. Citywide Bust. And I do agree with them playing the Citywide Bust there. I think that's totally reasonable. Citywide Bust you just gotta kind of play when you have it. Tajik, oh boy. Yeah, I don't know if we can beat Tajik. We need our other deadweight pretty quickly. Yeah, just mass drawing of land is not going to help us get there. We'll see whatever gets mentored up to 3. Likely the soldier token. That means the Spinal will have to trade for it. But we take close to lethal here. If they have a removal spell, we're dead. If they have a pump spell, we're fine. Seven, 8, 9. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay, so they're 1 spell up on us, so this kind of makes sense. Jeez, they draw runner, seriously? They go Tajik into other real card. Are you kidding me? They really went Tajik into... Wow, okay. Tajik into other real cards seems insane. Man. And we're going to draw land. I almost guarantee it. Glowspore Shaman. Not really doing much for us, sadly. We definitely won't be putting a land on top of our library. Decline. What is this card? Hovering over Tajik. Hovering over everything they have. What is this awful business? Really couldn't just draw a land there, huh? They've seen 5/6 of their land. Gird for battle. Man, just never lucky. Now Tajik is lethal. They were lethal to out no matter what. Man, that felt terrible. Just, opponent's rips were so sick. The fact they went runner, 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 oof. So few land out of them. We plowed through so many more land than they did. This format drives me insane. With that kind of stuff drives me nuts. Tajik, Righteous Blow. It was Righteous Blow Tajik. No, it was Tajik, Righteous Blow into Gird. Like, just couldn't do land for a minute to try to let me stabilize. Yeesh. Just horrible. That's where I feel like Golgari struggles the most, is against Boros. And Selesnya, it feels like its matchups are pretty bad. Dimir and Izzet, it feels like you're kind of favored, or you can be. I go first. It's got 2 into 3 into 4. I mean, it's hard to argue with that. It's just the cards are all, I mean, our hand is entirely commons. So card quality-wise, we're not doing great. None of our payoffs are in here. Against another mountain deck. We're going to play the rat because we have the rat, so... If we get Feroxed, we get Feroxed. Probably just scoop. Not gonna lie. I would scoop to that. Don't think so. I'm really in the tank on that. Got another real spell. I've been impressed with the number of real spells our Burglar Rats on 2 have gotten. Like, you figure these opponents' hands are just glutted with lands. No. Well, it might be on Izzet. I don't know. Let's go ahead and Spinal Centipede. And the next turn we have the Ceratok. Is it? Could possibly be Izzet plus a splash, but I would believe majority Izzet based on this Maniacal Rage, and likely Izzet aggro. If they're willing to throw a Maniacal Rage in their deck, then likely they're the Izzet aggro deck. I'm really in the tank about how they want to play their spells. The same amount of tanking when I played Burglar Rat on them. It's really in the tank. Come on, opponent. This isn't like just play a 3-drop. Like, you should have had your lines figured. Okay, you got it. This isn't tough. See how quickly I'm doing it? See, it's that easy. Pretty easy. So I already know what I'm going to do next turn. Definitely know what I'm going to do next turn. Now it's changed slightly, but that's okay. I'm going to crunch in here for 7 damage. And then follow up with a Veiled Shade. And next turn we get to attack again. Depending. Obviously, it could like Crackling Drake. No, Crackling Drake would not disincentivize it. Oh my god in heaven. This is Flying and Mentor 2/5. Well, did not expect to see that. Okay. I think we still got a jam. Because we just need to try to close this game out. This card's very, very high impact. Okay, managed to get that going. Phew, did not expect that. Did not expect Aurelia. Jeez Louise. Honestly, just expected some kind of Izzet card. We're in pretty good shape here. All our creatures completely pound the opponent down. Seven. It's 1, 3, 4. Opponents cast 4 spells to our 7, so we've definitely got them in terms of spells. I don't know what they think they could have to not die here, but it'd have to take out multiple creatures. It has to be like a creature plus a removal spell? Like direct current plus... There's no 1-drop blue creature. I don't think. So it has to be land plus 2-drop plus removal spell to just not die. Okay. Opponent has decided they cannot live or they timed out. I couldn't really see, but either way. Oof, got around that Aurelia. That was pretty cool. Made up for the Tajik dong slap we took in the face previous round. But we got Aurelia. Angel down. That's me like harpooning it and dragging it down. Yeah. Like Jeepers Creepers 2. Double days. The full-on double days. You go first. Very, very low impact hand. You go first. Much better hand. Bartizan Bats. Another 4. Hand's kind of glutted with 4s. I don't really think we need another. Looks like another Borosy Boros. Glow Spore. 3 spells. One of them's Rhizome. Feels pretty bad. I will 100% attack into the district card because Boros, may consider itself the beats. So we have the beats. Interesting that they'd like to get into a racing situation. Righteous Blow? I'm fine with that. Yeah, that's cool. Yeah, damage. Yeah, you got it. There's one thing Arena needs to learn when there's nothing that can be done. Physically can be done. You shouldn't have to click the button. We got a Price of Fame and a Severed Strands in our hand. We just need, unfortunately, I think we're going to Price of Fame that boy. Kill that pony boy. Like, go to the yard. Rhizome Lurcher can certainly stay on top. Oh, Cloud Forest. have 4 creatures in the yard here. Well, here goes. Wow, just let it hit, huh? Play Rhizome. That's a big boy. Luminous Bonds. Don't want to see that. I don't know if there's much else they can have to deal with that. But you can see, like 16 to 9, I definitely value myself. In this case, the beatdown, just the way the curve worked out. Skynet is fine. Wonder if they'll hold everything back. Answer is, they still fancy themselves the beatdown. They don't have enough for Command the Storm. I don't know if there's 3. Yeah. This is lethal, by the way. Take heart? This has to be a heck of a... Oh, response. Okay. I think I'm going to Burglar Rat. No, because then it just gets taken out by the Whelp. There was the response. That was the card I was talking about, the rare response resurgence. Street Riot is kind of a nothing. They still fancy themselves the beatdown at 5. I'm just going to try to take the full wind out of their sails here and give them no chance at winning with this dead weight. And I can follow up with a Notion Rain. Like, it has to be multiple things, because even Burglar Rat kills them, yeah. Yeah, that was a questionable attack with that Sky Knight Legionnaire. I don't know what they were thinking there. Sunfoot. But you can see the creature trading off is so advantageous to me because of the Rhizome Lurcher. I really think, like, I've gone from not liking that card very much at all because of, like, oh, it's a 4th turn 2/2 to it becoming, like, super high on my list of Golgari cards. Like, it's going to be, oh my god, my back. Oh man, back. It's going to be, it's one of the best Golgari cards. It's just such a nice payoff for the archetypes, so I think it is quite good. I think the Surveil off Barrier Bones is enough. With this Locket in hand, we just need any land to play. Lord Jackington. Oh boy. Yeah, that's good. That'll play. Got us a Healer's Hawk. I should have thought about my order of operations. I wasn't going to play the Dissident. I was going to deadweight the Hawk. We'll see. We'll see what they do. If we see a Mentor creature, we'll definitely do that. Because the other thing about that order of operations is a little better is you can't really do much here. Certainly don't mind trading with a Skyline Scout. I think we just got to take this Hawk out. It's just too good. I mean, just giving Suntail Hawk lately, they give it an additional toughness in M19, and now they've given it lifelink. It's like, Suntail Hawk, clearly you to bomb. No attacks here. I would have attacked and just, like, seen if I went for a, Again, don't mind trading off creatures here. Glowspore's pretty mana inefficient. So I think we'll just lock it. Stop, drop, and lock it. Pop, drop, pop, drop, and lock it. Stop, drop, and roll. Ledev Guardian. Not so great against us. Glowspore. A little bit of an order of operations issue there. I should have attacked with the Dissident first. Because then I could have just been... Yeah, they can't block because I just force a pump. And if they want to trade off a full turn of tapping all their creatures to get the Ledev Guardian down and just trade it off for a Dissident, it was just basically I gave up free 2 damage is what I'm saying. So if the game comes down to that, that's really going to be agitating. What's nice here is they can't really block in a way that doesn't let me just smack them for 4. Is there a trick? Righteous Blow? I can just respond to that. I mean, I have no problem with you throwing away your Righteous Blow. You still don't get a good block. You get Ledev on Veiled Shade is about what you get out of that, which isn't bad. We definitely need something. I feel like you say that a lot when you're playing Golgari. We definitely need something. Candlelight Vigil. Well, that's going to get Price of Fame, isn't it? You know, it'd be really cool. Spinal Centipede plus Burglar Rat. Centipede feels kind of bad on this board, but maybe I just want to draw it up that way. Turn around, see me. Yeah, I just don't... I don't know. We'll see. Burglar Rat feels like it could do something here. Are they mono white? Like... I was a little while into this game, and we only seen 4 land out of them, but, like, geez Louise, are they mono white? I definitely don't mind this. If they want a 2-2 or my 3-1... I'm going to force the issue. The other nice thing here is I get to pop the locket. End of turn. They might be mono white. Can't really afford to attack with the Glowspore because the crackback with the unicorn is so good. They might be mono white. I think they're mono white. That's insane. I really hope they're mono white. That'd be amazing. Oof. We need to get the Skyline Scout out of here. Is our major issue. The evasion on the Skyline Scout is a big problem. We used Price of Fame and Dead Weight. We lost Necrotic Wound to the Glowspore. This is an interesting attack. Yeah, I think that's kind of where we're going. Yeah, I think we just got to soak up as much as possible. Yep. Man, opponent's card quality. Like, this is a mono white deck? Insanity. 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 It's just, that's the thing, like, just, I don't mean to bemoan everything, but that's, man, just our draws when we've lost have felt terrible. Like, just not, like, and like a fact, our opponent had 4 land that whole game. 4 land. Can our opponent just draw, like, ever get flooded? Like, I don't think we've seen a flooded opponent. We saw a mana screwed opponent and an opponent who over mulliganed. But, man, I don't think we've seen a flood. Like, can an opponent just get flooded ever? Like, it's nuts. I should have played that Guildgate. That's fine. I'll find a turn for it. I'm just irritated. Don't let the games bother you that much to where you're playing poorly. I'm going to deadweight that because I hate him. The card just gets out of control. It gives me a turn to play the Guildgate. Yada, yada, yada. I just can't afford this thing beating my face in. Another Selesnya opponent. Good news here is we get to rat. See if he gets a real card. Probably not. Yeah, got a forest. Finally got a land. These have not been hitting lands. Next turn we'll get to Ceratok, and that kind of shuts off Fresh Facey. Freshy fishy face. Recluse, totally fine. Of course, Recluse, they play Recluse, we draw Bartizan Bats. Welcome to my life. I just can't keep kicking me in the nuts any worse with this luck. Killing me, Arena. The hands where it comes out, like, pretty strong. It's looking good, like, where we can draw on our curve. It's looking pretty darn good. Well, let's start with a Glow Spore and see what we do. We'll mill both of our Rhizome Lurchers, and I'd like a piece of removal. Decline 100. We lose our Notion Rate. Yeah, a piece of removal. Unconditional removal, you say? Who needs that? We got plenty of swamps on top, though. Lots and lots of swamps. Lots and lots of swamps. Opponents played 4 spells. We played 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 spells. Pack Beast. Interesting choice. I think I'll just take a 6 hit here. I don't mind that the most. Unfortunately. Like, Bartizan Bats would be great. Like, it's a nice varied threat with evasion, but we can't get past this Hitchclaw Recluse. So, it's, I mean, I don't want to trade Intrusive Pack Beast for the Ceratok. I'd much rather get the Glowspore Shaman on the Pack Beast. So, unfortunately, we're just kind of at a stalemate, and I can't break it because of the Hitchclaw. Hitchclaw's very good in this format. We'll just see if there's something we can draw. Meanwhile, opponent is going to have something crazy. Looks like a Siege Worm would be my guess. Nope, Flight of Equinox. Even better. 6 land. Just want to point that out. We've seen 8. They've seen 6, 7. Just want to throw that out there. But we're going to lose to the Flight of the Equinox if we can't deal. Flight of Equinox. Such a weird... And a Tristani just rips a Mythic. Just things that make me want to die. I mean, they're going to kill me. I'm going to die. But just, like, can we talk about the absurd card quality that our opponents have had tonight? Absurd card quality. Like, not even close. Like, just absolutely bonkers card quality our opponents have had. Like, it's just been insane. It's been totally insane. Like, it's just been nuts. That's big, so I trade double creatures. Fine, dude. Huh. I'm just trying to think if there's a way that I can get multiple creatures off the board without giving up absolutely everything that I have. So trades here, trades here. I guess that's the best I can cobble together. I'm 1 mana short of being able to activate the Dissident, so... I mean, I give up so many creatures here. Play Ceratok and die to the Equinox. Well, let's draft for you. I can't figure this format out. I'm still struggling. I'm on my, 7th draft of this format. Maybe, no, I'm deeper than that. I think 10 or 12, yeah. 10 or 12, because this is just what I've recorded and fiddled with. But probably 10 or 12. The best luck I've had, bar none, is Boros. As far as results. I think a lot of the decks can cobble together wins. I just don't know. Like, this Golgari deck seemed good, right? Like, multiple Rhizome Lurchers. Rhizome Lurcher there, outside of the Flight of Equinox, would have been totally sufficient. I just don't know. I don't know what to make of the format. Outside of, I like Boros and I like Dimir. They've definitely been the most successful guilds for me, and I think largely the folks all over the place. So, down in the comments, let me know where'd things go off the rails in that particular draft. What worked? What didn't work? What would you have done differently? What did you see that you're like, you definitely passed up on that, you idiot? That's a key component to the deck. I would have liked 1 or 2 more Severed Strands. One more Severed Strands and 1 more Generous Stray, I think would have popped the deck up a decent clip in my book. I think we just couldn't quite get there. Maybe an Okapi or 2 would have been nice. It just seems like Golgari really, you have to really be a disciplined drafter to get it, because you need to know exactly what pieces you need at all times. So that's a really tough one for me. But let me know in the comments what you think. Let me know what your favorite guild to draft is. Let me know why. Let me know what you think after you're playing so far. But yeah, I'm a dozen plus now with all the streams and stuff into drafting this format, and I still feel totally lost in the woods. I've had decks that look like Bs, B pluses, just get trampled. That deck to me looked like a C. It performed at about a C rate. So, I mean, it's just hard to say. If I could even just get an assessment of if the deck was good or not, I'd feel a little bit more comfortable. But if you want to see more content, we're going to put out more of this, because this format's going to be with us for a while and limited. We're here on YouTube with you now, supraliminalfilms.com. If you want to watch us live and watch me gripe in real time and laugh at me in the chat, you can check us out on Twitch. We stream every single Sunday in the evening, 8 o'clock Eastern, sometimes 7:30. We usually go till about 11, and then we try to jam in 1 or 2 more nights if we can. Just depends. We work a lot. You know how it is. And if you want to check out anything else we do, supraliminalfilms.com is the home for all of that. And if you want to reach out to us and gripe at us with personal messages or whatnot, just hit us up on the social medias, or Supraliminal Films everywhere but Twitter, because their character limits made us Supraliminal FLM. So check us out everywhere, and until next time, cast more spells and let me know about this limited.